Okay, so today we're going to unpack something really powerful: how companies can create truly impactful partnerships with NGOs and governments. We're going to dive into a blueprint for turning those amazing intentions into real, measurable, lasting change. Let's get into it.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? So many organizations want to do good in the world. They have the ambition, but how do you actually cross that bridge from just wanting to do something to getting tangible results you can see and measure? That's the real challenge, and in this explainer, we're breaking down a framework to help you do exactly that.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with a why. Why this is so important. Then we'll walk step by step through laying the foundation, designing the actual blueprint, making sure you have strong governance, and then we'll hit the big one: how to measure what truly matters. All right, let's jump into our first section. Why is this so critical, especially right now? Well, it all comes down to moving from just having big goals to taking real action. This is especially true when we talk about ESG, environmental, social, and governance targets.
Okay, first things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page with a quick definition. When we say public-private partnership, we're talking about a formal team-up between a business and an NGO or a government body. And the most important word there? Shared. A shared goal is the engine that makes this whole thing run.
And this quote, well, it really gets to the heart of it. It's not just about making an impact. It's about how you do it. How do you do it in a way that's accountable, completely transparent, and built to last? That's the puzzle we're putting together today.
Okay, Section 2. I want you to think about this like building a house. You wouldn't just start throwing up walls and putting on a roof, right? No way! You have to lay a solid foundation first. These next few steps are absolutely crucial to get right from the very beginning.
So the very first block in that foundation is clarity. You have to be crystal clear on your purpose. What's the core goal? Is it about creating broad social impact or a very specific environmental project? Is this a strategic thing or is it operational? Is it about funding or advocacy? Getting laser focused here sets the entire direction for everything that comes next.
Once you've figured out your what and your why, it's time to find the who. And a simple framework like this can be unbelievably helpful. It lets you systematically map out your options, sorting potential partners by their type, what they focus on, and even where you stand with them right now. Are they just a prospect, or are they an active partner?
Okay, our foundation is solid. Now it's time to draft the architectural plans. This next section is all about the blueprint, the nitty-gritty details of how this collaboration is actually going to work day to day.
A really strong blueprint has 5 key parts. First, you need a clear scope, so everybody knows the boundaries of the project. Second, a set duration. For obvious reasons, timelines matter. Third, and this is huge, you have to clarify roles and responsibilities so there's zero confusion. Fourth, you detail what resources each side is bringing to the table. And finally, you set up a clear system for communication and reporting to keep everyone in the loop.
And as you can see here, the areas where these partnerships can focus are incredibly diverse. You could be working on anything from environmental initiatives and social development to policy and advocacy, or even just building up new skills in a community. The potential for impact is just massive.
Now let's talk about resources for a sec. A grant is pretty straightforward, right? It's a direct transfer of money for a specific thing. But co-investment, that's a much deeper level of commitment. It's a shared investment where both partners have some skin in the game. You're sharing the costs, sure, but you're also sharing the risks and the rewards.
So, we have our foundation, we have our blueprint. Now it's time for the inspection phase. Strong governance is the framework that keeps the whole project on the rails. It's what builds accountability and that all-important ingredient for any successful partnership: trust. And look, this isn't just about boring bureaucracy. This is about creating a structure that's tough and transparent. Does the partnership actually line up with your core policies? Is there a formal legal agreement, like a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, locked in? Who's actually overseeing this thing? Are you meeting all the compliance standards? These checks are absolutely non-negotiable.
And of course, let's be real, no partnership is completely risk-free. A good governance plan doesn't pretend risks don't exist, it actually plans for them. By taking the time to think through potential problems, like, say, funding delays or a sudden policy change, and having a strategy ready to go, you can stop a small hiccup from turning into a total disaster.
And that brings us to our final section, the final walkthrough. We've built the house, now we need to check the quality of the work. This part is all about moving beyond just tracking what you're doing and starting to measure the real, tangible impact you're having.
So how do we do that? With a clear framework, just like this one. For every area you want to impact, you define a specific metric. Then, and this is a step so many people miss, you establish a baseline. That's your starting point. And then you set a target. That's your destination. This is how you turn a vague idea into a concrete, measurable goal.
Let's make this real for a second. Let's say one of your key performance indicators, or KPIs, is the number of people you train in a new skill.
Before the project even starts, your baseline is 0. Simple. This is your before picture. It grounds your entire efforts in reality. And your target is to train 10,000 people. That's your after picture. See? By setting that clear baseline and that ambitious target, you've created a goal that's not just a nice idea, it's measurable. You know exactly what success looks like. It's that simple, and it's incredibly powerful.
And that's really how it all fits together. This blueprint, this whole system, gives you a clear path from that initial foundation, that core purpose, all the way through to your final, measurable impact. Every single step builds on the one before it.
So, this really just leaves us with one last big question to think about. Is your partnership just a short-term thing, a one-off project, or is it truly built to last and create change that sticks around for the long haul? Because really, at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to write a nice report about change. The whole point of a truly great partnership is to create it, to be a genuine force for good in the world.